Hello beautiful people, and welcome to the channel Life After Narc. My name's Debbie and I talk about all things related to narcissistic, abusive and toxic relationships, as well as looking at ways to heal from those relationships after they're over. I hope that these videos help you. If you like the content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon to be notified of any upcoming videos. So today's video is called Narcissistic Rage and Physical Abuse. And in both of these items, one can lead to another. So narcissistic rage can lead to the physical abuse. Many of narcissistic relationships, though, are centered around verbal and emotional abuse. So the physical side of it doesn't really come into much of them, but it can escalate. So my nex had a laptop one day that wasn't working properly, and he was getting, we have a term in the UK called Mardy with it, and he flung it across the room and it smashed against the wall. And this is narcissistic rage. I offered for him to use my laptop, but he declined, and he borrowed a laptop, well, a tablet from work, but it actually wasn't from work. You can see that in another one of my videos that I'll link below. At this stage, he was getting ready to leave me. I was not aware of anything that was going on. I was in the process of looking after my father, who was sick and dying at the time. So everything was out of my head, out of my way. There was no focus on the here and now. It was always on the there, where my parents lived. The rage can also be seen as a temper tantrum, like a child when their lip drops and they stomp away. In one instance, he wanted a family member to come and stay with us for a while, and I flatly said no. That was my answer, no. I didn't give any reason. I didn't have to. You shouldn't have to. When you say no, that's it. But he stomped off with the lip dragging on the ground in a temper tantrum, and eventually I acquiesced and gave in to his request, and this family member came to live with us. Now, the reason I said no was because I have cats and they don't do well with little people, and this family member had a little person with them. So, of course, when this person came to stay, the cats didn't like it and hid. They were not happy. It disrupted their life. Why should their lives be disrupted in our home? Boundaries are broken down because you feel guilty if you say no. They make you feel guilty. They make you think, oh, hang on, I should actually do this because they're my partner, or they're my husband, or they're my wife, and this is just, you know, me being stubborn, or let me give in to this. But you have every right to say no. It causes you distress, discomfort. It causes you hurt and anger and rage inside, but you hide all of these emotions because something inside is telling you it's wrong. But they don't care about you. They're narcissists. They only care about themselves. Remember, a relationship is about give and take. It's not just about one person having their way all the time. Two people have to compromise. I'm going to put a link below to a video that I did called What It Can Be Like in a Narcissistic Relationship. And it just gives you a view to some of the things that I experienced and that perhaps you've experienced as well. In one instance, he purchased a car that was actually a piece of junk, but he did this, decided that this is the car he wanted, and when we went for a drive in it, it needed new brake discs and it needed new tires. So guess who had to fork over the money for that? Muggins. And I still haven't received that money back, and I never will. That's something that'll never happen. I took that money out of my birthday money that my father gave me for my 50th birthday. But there was a lack of guilt from his side. He felt that he was entitled to this money. When we look at physical abuse, this can be incredibly, incredibly difficult and different to emotional abuse. It can be 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more intense and more and terrifying for the person in receiving that abuse. These people probably border on psychopathy. So while they may be narcissistic, they probably have psychopathic traits within them as well. And I want you to know that you are not to blame for their behavior. You never were, you never will be. They are the ones that are to blame. So please take that guilt away. Let it go. You are not to blame. No one deserves that kind of behavior or treatment in their life. And if you are in that situation, I implore you, please seek the help that you can to leave that situation, whether that is contacting Women's Aid or your local authorities, perhaps the police, even a relative or a friend if you can. And it may be difficult because your partner may have isolated you. I was in a difficult relationship in my late teens, early 20s, with a physically abusive partner. And he moved 1,000 kilometers away from where I was living, and I went to live with him because I was naive. I had no idea what was happening. And he physically abused me, and the abuse went on. He isolated me from friends. He made sure that I left work, that I was at home. I was a housewife, and I wasn't good enough for him. I wasn't what he wanted. He wanted me to be something that I was not. And eventually the physical abuse became so bad that the neighbors called the police one day, and the police rang my parents 1,000 kilometers away, and they drove through the night to come and get me. And I was out of that relationship, but still there was a time that I bumped into him further down the line. He was with his current partner, and he walked past me and whispered in my ear, "One day I'm going to rape you." And then a few years later, I received a phone call from that area code, and I thought it was somebody else, but it turned out to be his current girlfriend, who asked me if he'd ever hit me. And I spoke with her for a long time on the phone, telling her, advising her to leave. And it sort of helped me to realize that I wasn't the only one. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't the crazy person. I wasn't the only one that had gone through this. And you need to know that you are not the crazy one. This is wrong. It's wrong behavior, and it probably stems from how they were treated as children. You need to put yourself first. And if you've got children, put them first as well. If your children are going to be brought up in that kind of environment, it will scar them. It will make their futures difficult for them. And I really implore you to do what you can to leave. And I know it's hard. Believe me, I was there. I was in that place. I'm going to put a link to the video, a meditation to help heal with a broken heart, at the bottom of in the description as well below. But I really hope that this video helps you understand that you are not alone. There are so many people out there that have gone through what you're going through, and I'm one of them. And that trauma stays with me to this day. I'm busy working through it. I have a therapist, and it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of healing. But I'm prepared to do that work because I want to be normal. I want to be healed. I hope you carry on watching the channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments below. Also, like the video, click like, subscribe to the channel, and share with friends or on your profile or page, wherever you are that you think may be worthwhile, that other people can see. And I hope to see you soon. Blessed be.